A few months ago, the founder of this network, Raven Blair Glover, felt helpless in the face of COVID-19, which at that time was just starting its insidious path into our lives. She realized that if she felt that way, others probably did too, and, being a woman of action, decided to do something about it. So she gathered 60 or so broadcasters, TV hosts, podcasters, and the like to offer their messages of hope and inspiration and empowerment into an event called Broadcasters Unite, Lift Up the World, which aired on this network and others a little while ago. I offered up my own 2 cents on how you could take positive action to make changes in your life. I bring this up now because there's a crying need for all of us to look beyond ourselves and find gratitude in what we're facing every day of our lives. One person who shares this view is my special guest, who's coming back to the Dream Power Show for a second time, Dr. Cheralyn Leeby. Cheralyn is a licensed marriage and family therapist who has put her thoughts on gratitude into an essay called Thanks+Giving, a recipe for living. Welcome to the Dream Power Show, Shez.
Thank you, Debbie. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
And we are so happy to have you back. Shez, we all know Thanksgiving as the holiday where we all get food drunk, and yet we probably never take the time to really drill down into what that compound word really means. So let's do that now. Let's start with the word thanks. So tell me, what is your definition of it, what it means, and why it's actually necessary for us to give thanks?
So my favorite holiday has always been Thanksgiving. And it was more about, like you said, the food. But the more I looked into why I love that holiday, there are food expectations, but other than that, with that holiday, it's really about the gathering together, the giving of thanks, the giving with our families and our loved ones. So I did break that compound word down, as you said, and as a recipe for living, the thanks part is a process where no matter what your life circumstance is, if you can, in a quick mindset shift, bring in the gratitude, the power of that, I've witnessed over and over how fast that is. So it's as simple as, no matter what it is, come to a place of, what can I be thankful for? What can I have grace and gratitude with? And the power in that is amazing. So that's part of why I wrote about this formula in this book called The Grateful Soul. And we could talk more about it, but it's a compilation book. So all these, it's so timely right now. All these chapters are about gratitude practices or essays on gratitude. And mine happens to be Thanksgiving.
Yes, I want to get back to the Thanksgiving formula that you have. So let's get over to the next word, giving. Can you have thanks without giving?
So yes, absolutely. I feel like it's a two-step process. So the gratitude is the first thing that you bring in internally. Bring in the gratitude in any way you can, again, no matter what the circumstance is. And what that does is it's kind of a relentless allowing of all things. And it's not just to sit by and kind of, let yourself get run over by a truck type thing, but it's kind of an allowing of all those things out of our control and saying, here's what I can bring in that I'm grateful for in the moment. And then the second step, the giving, is transcending that difficult circumstance to a place where you can give to others. And it is in giving that we receive, we hear those kind of things, or I love thinking of do unto your neighbor, because it's not just say, hey, thanks, but it's that next step of do unto your neighbor, give in some way. And I've witnessed my clients and myself and friends that when we power our energies into a form of giving, we transcend any kind of sorrow, any kind of distress. And I believe it's why, like, foundations and charities and all kinds of things, they come out of difficult situations where we're like, what do we do with this energy of grief and loss and difficulty? When we channel that into something positive, a giving modality, we're transcending our sorrow and bringing that to a place of new healing, really. And the healing is not just for others through the giving, but what you get back is tenfold.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't it really true that when you do give from the heart, you actually get more back than
Totally.
imagined? Yes.
Absolutely. And I think we can all kind of recall those times when we kind of forgot our circumstances, or we time stood still, and it was because we were in a mode of either giving or joy, presence. That thanks and giving process that I'm talking about, and it's just a simple way to remember it, is why I use that word. But that process brings us to a place of complete presence, and a place where we're kind of outside of ourselves, outside of our psyche, and just enjoying or giving in that moment. So even the little ways, when they have that pay it forward stuff where like you pay for somebody's coffee behind you or whatever, those are moments when I think we can all remember like, wow, that was really a memorable thing. Or those sparks of light, look for the healers in the bad situations that that Mr. Rogers talked about, or his mother talked about. Those are the times that we're really transcending ourselves and transcending our own situation, and then getting the healing back. And I've seen it over and over and over.
Yeah, and the other part of it is it doesn't have to be this like super big grand gesture. It could be the smallest thing that could just ripple and have just this multiple effect on you and people surrounding you.
Right, absolutely. I know you just showed on your other positive podcast thing the thank you video that was done for healthcare workers, and I think just the recognition of that thanks in a way that's concrete for people that you're grateful for, um, those kind of things just bring so much power to the healing that we all need, especially in this time.
It took a tragedy for you to realize the importance of Thanksgiving. And recently, I understand that you had another tragic death in your life. Did this concept of Thanksgiving help you deal with that?
Did. It was really kind of crazy cosmic timing that when this came out, which was right in May, I guess May or June. I wrote about my one brother's death, who died when I was 21 and he was 18, and he took his own life, and that was a very tragic, really, really difficult, still brings me to tears, really difficult situation for my family. And then so I wrote about that, and I wrote about how I healed. And it wasn't an overnight process that I realized, oh, I can give thanks for this because it propelled my career path into what I do today. Or I can channel all that difficult energy with not understanding, suicide and deep, deep depression, channel that into helping others, which is what I did. But it came full circle again because I have a brother that passed away about a month ago, who was 50. And so I found myself like, uh-oh, I gotta walk the talk. Like I gotta grieve, I gotta feel, and obviously it's still there, but I've got to feel the intensity of this grief and then find the gratitude. And I still don't know what that's going to be channeled into. Obviously with my first brother's death, that was like 30 years ago, that really, like I said, propelled my career path. And so I'm kind of, in a weird way, excited to see what happens with this, where this propels my next giving, my next form of giving. And I don't know what that is yet, but it's these difficult circumstances that if I can use my own advice and bring in the gratitude in every moment and the way that I can give through that and help through that, it's helping my own my own healing. So I'm going to walk the talk and I'll let you know how it goes. I'm going to keep trying it. And it's a process for sure. It's not a one and done. It's not a November, 27th or whatever Thanksgiving is. It is an everyday thanks and giving and bringing that into my soul, into our souls in every moment so we can heal and transcend any suffering that we're going through.
Yeah, this is something I wanted to bring up too, because you do say we should make every day Thanksgiving, not just have this national holiday one time a year, but to have that thought go on with us throughout our lives every single day that we live. In practical terms, how does somebody incorporate Thanksgiving into their daily lives?
So I think that when I envision Thanksgiving, that's a day when pretty much everything else stops and we are, if I don't know if you guys do it at your family table, but a lot of families go around and say what they're grateful for on that day. A lot of people give thanks, for family and togetherness. So I think that just bringing in little pieces of those things on a daily basis and remembering to bring in the grace and gratitude and bring in the sense of presence, bring in the sense that nothing else really matters but that time together with your loved ones, the time, with yourself to kind of reset and regroup, and then figure out, okay, how can this also be a day of giving? And if I start my mornings in that way of thinking about what am I grateful for and what can I do to give today beyond my normal, like I know what I normally do with my therapy and with my other things, but kind of that little step beyond, what am I going to do today that honors my brothers, that honors my grief, that is a little step forward? That's what I think might make a difference.
Do we have to experience pain to feel the sense of thanks and giving?
No, I don't think so, but pain is inevitable. I think that it's one of the many human emotions that we all feel at different times. And what I've learned from the work that I do with trauma is that traumas can be seemingly really little, but they're triggers from long ago pain that wasn't resolved. So pain can be like a cumulative thing, but nobody has had a childhood, nobody has had a life free of difficulty. It's all in how we acknowledge it first and then feel it and then transcend it and bring it to a place of thanks and giving. But I think that what you're asking, I guess, is can we right now bring that in, or does it have to be in the dark night of the soul and the transformation? And my thought is, and you can tell me, but wherever we are in life, I think bringing in gratefulness and giving, thanks and giving, is part of the life journey. I think it's my one word summary for what life is really about. I think we're here to give thanks and give. Like, I can't think of another one word summary for life of what we're here for. So in terms of purpose, no matter where you are on the pain spectrum, our purpose can be found through gratitude and giving.
How can people find out more about the book and about you and about what you do?
Oh, thank you, Debbie. Okay, so the book, The Grateful Soul, compilation book by Kira Schaefer. It is available on Amazon, Kindle, all those platforms, and Barnes and Noble, a couple other places. It's a beautiful compilation book. And my website is www.soullife.us, I like to say, soullife.us. My practice is called Soul Life, and it's living your whole life. And I help people get there however we can. And I'm only doing virtual therapy now, and virtual art therapy and holographic memory resolution and trauma work, all those things online. So what's nice about that is I'm kind of I've opened the availability a little more. But anyway, so Soul Life US, people can contact me, and I'm grateful to keep giving. I'm going to find ways to give thanks and give in every moment. I consciously drill that in.
We've been talking about gratitude with therapist Dr. Cheralyn Leeby.